What's going on with you, Capricorns? What's going on to you, Capricorns? So, hope y'all are having a great day. Smash the like button. Let's see. So, for you, Capricorns, you have the Two of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and you have the Queen of Pentacles here. These three cards right here speaks to the level of what it is that you're not willing to do. You, Capricorns, have been doing far too much for others, and others are always trying to make it seem like anything that they do for you is too much. So a lot of you Capricorns are learning that you're learning that a lot of the things that people say are too much. It just goes to show you their stupidity. It goes to show you they're not, it goes to show you that they're not mentally healthy. You know what I mean? Because truth be told, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Any sane adult should not be belly aching about simple things. You know, like them trying to be good with you in a relationship, but then they're complaining about having to do things that they should be doing. You know, they're complaining about kissing. They're complaining about holding hands. They're complaining about, you know, getting in the car with you. They're complaining of, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just seems like anything is everything is hyperbolic. Everything is blown out of proportion. It's too much. So a lot of you Capricorns are starting to learn from your mistake of, hey, you know, you're not going to waste your time hanging out with someone that thinks that anything that they do for you is too much. It just seems like it's this exacerbation of anything that you want and you ask for is too much. It just seems like you Capricorns are going back to the drawing board, thinking about where you went wrong. Not ruminating per se, but thinking about where you went wrong, and you realize that the next time you get yourself into something brand new, you're not going to be doing that anymore. You're definitely not going to, like, you're going to observe it. Like, if you see that a person takes everything too much to the extreme where it seems like doing anything for you whatsoever, even simplistic things like, you know, hey, hand me this pair of scissors. Why don't you go ahead and get this pair of scissors? Oh my gosh, whatnot. You wanted the pair of scissors, stupid. So why don't you get your lazy butt up and go get it, since you're the one that wanted it? You understand what I'm saying? It's not like I'm sitting right next to you. So what is this problem of like thing, since you're the one that wants the scissors so badly? You understand what I'm saying? Like, a lot of you Scorpios are, a lot of you Capricorns, let me give you your dignity. You Capricorns are looking at stuff like this and you're paying attention to it, because that's them little games. That's them little psychological operations. So the Ten of Cups and the Queen of Swords is about how you're ready the next time. You know, but I also have to remind you, Capricorn, that it's not about a competition. It's not about looking at your person, partner, teammate, significant other, person that you're in a relationship with like an op. It's not about that. It's not about looking at them like an op, like there's some sort of opposition or an enemy. It's about learning how to work together, right? That's what the Queen of Swords can represent. Queen of Swords sometimes can be over prepared for something, you know? The Queen of Swords can get to a point where she is so prepared, even past to the point where she can essentially overdo it sometimes. And it's not that the Queen of Swords is like a terrible queen or anything like that. It's more so about having to not go and bounce back and forth in between the extremes. It's about learning how to be approachable and meet people and talk to them and still be sociable, but having some better self-respect, having, you know what I mean, having self-respect and the time when it counts. You know what I mean? Having self-respect just in general, but having showing self-respect to that you have for yourself in the eyes of the other person when That's my dog over there. When it's when it's necessary. So the thing is that the Queen of Swords represents just need to pay attention to that ultimately. My dog over there giving me the twinkly eye. She wink. I love you. I love you. She giving. But anyway, I love my dog. But anyway, love you. I love my dog. But the Magician now represents how you're totally brand new. Okay, totally brand new. How far you have come is amazing to even you. The Ten of Cups represents what it is that you are not willing to put up with. So the Ten of Cups, cards like the Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, these are like limitation cards. These are cards are like boundaries. You know, these are cards that basically set up situations where it's like, nah, like you can't. You can't allow certain things to happen this way. Because if you do, then you won't have a level of respect for yourself, or you won't show why you should be respected in the eyes of the other person. And again, this is part of the reason why you have the Queen of Swords, to kind of go back again, right? As I'm explaining some cards again, it's about, again, you can do that, and that's something that you're supposed to do, especially when people are trying to get you to fall to the mercy of their desires. You Capricorns are supposed to demonstrate like, nah. But the Magician represents how it is that, but this is a matter of common sense though, you know? This is a matter of common sense. How it is that someone should have a level of common sense when it comes to dealing with you, just in general. Like if a person, see, this is what I keep talking about with this stupid relationship talk. This is what I'm talking about, right? That it seems to be never ending about who did what and what did what. Listen, respect and common sense are not hard to understand. If a person that you Capricorns are in a relationship with seems to have a hard time using their common sense enough to respect you, that means that you need to get away from them, because they're not even a sane adult. They're not even sane. Something's wrong with them. And we can show and prove that something is wrong with them because you have to understand what comes with that mentality. Like a person who has the mentality that they could be in a relationship with somebody and doesn't have to respect them. You see what I'm saying? It goes, that's my dog there. But it goes to show you that they're not necessarily in their right state of mind. Like what kind of a person has, be calm now. What kind of a person has this mentality where they think that those two things are connected to one another? Y'all are intimate with one another, but look at how it is that they're treating the very same person that they're intimate with. You understand what it is that I'm referring to? That elevator doesn't go all the way to the top. There's something off about that person if that's how it is that they think, and if they got a problem giving you respect. So the Magician and the Six of Wands just represents when you see someone who is operating like that with you Capricorns, stay away from them. If you have anybody around like that around you right now, you need to stay away from them. I don't care how attractive they are. I don't care what they say y'all gonna do in the future. That future talk is just them trying to trick you to get you to stay while it is that they perform and do all their craziness and show you how out of their mind they are, that there's something off with them, that there's something wrong with them. Okay, so you Capricorn shouldn't even be falling for that age-old trick where they tell you, hey, you know, you need to, you know, we're going to go ahead and we're going to have so much fun in the future. That's to keep you invested so that they can continue to wild out on you. Because remember what it is that I told you, Capricorns, when it comes to dysfunctional people, they don't they don't stop. They don't lower the stuff that the craziness that they do. They don't lower it. What they do is that they actually increase it. This is where the poking and the prodding and the, cause see, here's the thing, right? Like, remember a few minutes ago how it is I was talking about the get up and can you please get me the scissors thing? That's a trick in on itself. Because what's happening here is the person is poking and prodding, because again, if the two of y'all are sitting right next to each other and like you're not like you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just say you and the person sitting right next to each other and you have, I don't know, a tarot box right next to you, right? And the person is like, hey, can you pass me the tarot box? If the tarot box is right next to you and they're further away, then that's okay for you to go ahead and pick it up and be like, here, because it is what it is, right? The tarot box is right next to you. But if they're sitting right next to you, right, or whatnot, right, the two of y'all are sitting right next to each other, and then they talking about pass you the tarot box and they're closer to it. It's like they need to get their goofy behinds and go ahead and get it. And see, this is the type of psychological operation that I'm trying to get you Capricorns to understand. It's that subtle. It is that subtle of a game that can get you caught up. That's how subtle things are. It's that subtle. It starts just like that. It's that subtle to the point where you think things like asking for something so small is harmless, when in actuality, that's them running the game. That's why it is I get so upset when even they start that, because it's like, why you ain't do that before? It's like what's up? Again, this is an S test. This is just another reason why, if I'm family members with you, or even if I'm in a relationship with somebody, I'm gonna leave. Because stop playing the game. If you wanted to get something, get it yourself. This ideology of the two of us sitting right next to each other, but I must get up and get it, but you want it so badly, that makes no sense. All of that stuff, this is what I'm trying to show you, how subtle it is. All of that stuff is a game. I'm showing you how insidious and how subtle the game is if you don't pay attention to it. This is why this is, again, all the warning that the Queen of Swords is saying, how you wanna be aware of how they do it, but at the same time, don't become paranoid. That is a fine line that you have to walk. So the Six of Wands and now the Knight of Wands, right, is about how you Capricorns, when you see what people doing and you walk away from that, it empowers you, because you're getting out long before they start to escalate their dysfunction, right? Because whenever it is that you see people start to run antics, and it goes to show you how cowardly people who run so much game on you Capricorns really are. My gosh, how come they don't try to run this type of psychological operation with people they don't know? No, they want people to develop it's pure cowardice. They want people to develop a soft spot and familiarity with them just so that they can start running game now. It's like who are they running game on? They running game on the people they laying down with at the end of the day. But the benefit to the end of the day, that day has to end. Which brings me to my next point. Speaking of the day ending, the Seven of Wands and the Five of Cups. Eventually, this is why it is I say that when it comes to you Capricorns, it is what it is. And you Capricorns are intelligent to get out before it is that they start to escalate the nonsense. Is because you Capricorns need to understand what it is that you do not see when the other person goes off and talks to other people. When you Capricorns have this, some of you Capricorns may or may not have this curiosity as to what's going on in that person's life when they leaving you alone. Because I'm seeing that you probably been talking to somebody and then you got out because this person was trying to run con on you or run game on you very soon, and you Capricorns is like, you've been around the block more than a couple of times. You've seen this trick one too many times, and you got out just in time. But the Seven of Wands and the Five of Cups represents how this is what happens though, right? When they leave you and they don't talk to you anymore, they are looking for someone brand new to do that to. Maybe not immediately, but they're doing it for someone. They're doing it to look for someone else for them to do it to. True. They're doing it to someone else to do it to. The reason why it is I can say something like that in the first place is because you Capricorns have to understand the mentality of a person who thinks like that. Anyone who can be in a relationship with somebody and lay down with them but still think of them as the ops, it takes a person who's had this type of mentality for years. So Capricorn, you think that just because you may have outsmarted them, right, this time, and you realize what type of nonsense they on, you think that these people are going to stop playing the game just because you were one in how many? You were one of the smarter ones that figured it out to leave them alone. But who goes to say that other people are aware or are not aware? You still have people who are mostly in the game. You still have people who are, well, the dating pool is actually shrinking in certain countries. But yeah, the dating pool is actually shrinking in certain countries and actually all over the world. But the point is that, but you still have people still willing to play the game, still willing to take their chances, still willing to do this. But the only way to not play the game, the only way to win the game is to not play. In other words, you Capricorns get to know people, and then when you see that they're running game on you, stay away from them. Let's clarify the Five of Cups. You have the King of Cups, Two of Cups, the Hermit, the Page of Wands, and then you have the Four of Swords. So the King of Cups and the Two of Cups, to clarify the Five of Cups, is about you Capricorns are okay because you have this newfound of intent. You have this new level of wisdom. So you're going to be looking at relationships that could have went bad for you, looking back at it like, you're glad you got out of that. Because those type of dysfunctional relationships that could have started up for you, they're in the rear view mirror. They're behind you. The Hermit and the Page of Wands is about you. You have so much to actually welcome ahead. This is the thing that you don't understand. You have so much to welcome because the transformation that you Capricorns are going through, you're going through a huge transformation of self-discovery. It's going to be harder for people who are in the game to approach you with the nonsense. And that's part of what I'm trying to create here. I'm training all the zodiac signs to be able to spot individuals that want to run game, because at the end of the day has to end. Everybody has to stop playing the game. There's no exception to that, because people who play the game themselves, who won't put it down, too stupid to understand the game don't love anybody, including you, no matter how good you are. So the game turns on the very same people who can't even stop playing it. Everybody has to stop playing the game, no matter how good you are. What happened with Ghost from Power? Well, Ghost got popped. Why did Ghost get popped? Ghost got popped because he couldn't stop playing the game. So he frustrated people so much to the point where his own son got him up on out of here. Did I agree? Do I agree with it? I can see it on both sides. But the point is, I understood the main point of it. This is how it ends when you continue to run game on everybody. You create enemies because you can't stop. Because you so bad, you know what I'm saying? Because a person so badly wants to be the head honcho. Okay, well, you can't stop. Now what happens? Now you created a whole lot of enemies where you could have just kept it 100, and being honest with yourself and other people would have helped project you to get to where it is that you need to go. So now the Four of Swords is about how, and all I can say is, to those people who trying to run game on you, it's Four of Swords. It's not gonna work. You're gonna break their sword. You're gonna completely chip and shatter, Dune reference. You're gonna completely chip and shatter their sword, meaning their mind. They're not gonna, people who run in game, not gonna be able to understand how you Capricorns are able to figure out what they're doing. And I'm gonna be your secret sauce. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe. There's a link in the comment section below called a Linktree link. Click on it, okay? It will redirect you to a website which has all the ways to be able to financially support the channel, so I can most definitely keep the show going. Peace.